A pleasant good day to each and everyone. We are the Group 9 and our study is all about factors affecting the academic performance of STEM students at the University of Mindanao. The researchers are Aureliano Marjorie M., Berdes Christine Bernadette K., Flores Julian Macy, Jugar Michael J.C., and Verano Nicole Kit. Rationally, teacher-related factors such as low subject mastery, long lecture span results on unsatisfactory academic performance of students. Students with no study habits have shown low academic performance, terrible home environment of students cause negative ramification on students' academic performance. Students with personal conditions, for instance, sleep deprivation, have a higher risk of academic retention. The basis of the said rationale came from the recent RRL that proved the essence of our topic. As shown in the study, it is conducted by Hafari 2019. This study would help to change how an individual perceive the elements that influence students' academic success. According to recent studies, the education of students is affected by social issues, poor academic performance that will lead to problems and difficulties. The importance of why we conduct this research is because it is not yet well researched and there are a lot of research gaps that we should need to further explore. Additionally, we want to contribute towards achieving a sustainable solution to the problem brought by our study.
Statement of the problem 1. What is the demographic profile of senior high school STEM students of University of Mindanao in terms of grade level, gender, age, preferred learning style, and number of children or siblings in the house? 2. What is the senior high school students' perception on the influence on academic performance of the following factors: teacher-related aspect, personal condition, study habits, home-related aspect, and school-related aspect? 3. Is there a significant difference in perception on factors that influence senior high school students' performance when analyzed by demographic profile? Hypothesis. At 0.05 level of significance, there is no significant difference in perception on factors that influence senior high school students' performance when analyzed by demographic profile. This study is anchored on Wahlberg's theory of educational productivity, which discusses factors affecting students' academic achievements. Wahlberg's theory of academic success states that students' psychological traits and immediate psychological circumstances affect cognitive, behavioral, and attitude outcomes. Furthermore, the assumptions of this present study are further supported by cognitive learning theory. To understand cognitive learning theory, first, it is essential to learn the term metacognition. Mind awareness is defined as metacognition. Understanding how to think is essential to cognitive learning theory. Definition of variables and indicators. Demographic profile. A particular type of customer including their age, sex, and level of education. Age describes how old a person is at a particular point in time. Gender, the characteristics of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. Grade level, the level of the educational program studied by a student. Preferred learning style is the way in which you learn best. The number of children or siblings in the household differs from the count of family members. Factors affecting academic performance. Variables that have an impact both good and bad on academic progress of pupils. Personal condition is visual and auditory discomfort. Study habits and actions such as reading, taking notes. Teacher-related is a teaching method and subject mastery. Home-related, overcrowding in the home or course. School-related is class schedules, available academic resources, and classroom relocation.
The significance of the study. This research aims to investigate how senior high school students in the University of Mindanao STEM Strand perform academically. This research would transform how people see academic success factors. This research would also contribute significantly to this area soon. This study would also benefit to teacher. The findings from this study may help teachers recognize problems encountered by students that may pose an effect on their performance. They may find alternative actions on how to handle their students. For parents, this research may help parents to understand and help their children with school challenges, and they may know, counsel, monitor, and motivate their children's academic success. For future researchers, this research may help and provide a valuable literature for future scholars. It will provide light on academic success factor. This work may inspire others to expand it and serve as a reference for future studies. Scope of the study. The basic goal of this research is to discover the elements that substantially impact the academic performance of senior high school STEM students at the University of Mindanao. This research exclusively collected data from the University of Mindanao senior high school STEM students. This research will employ close-ended 5-point Likert scale questions. The researchers excluded and limited the independent variable to Strand to concentrate on academic STEM. The study's theoretical framework also limits dependent elements. This eliminates issues like online class setup. This research focused on one strand at one school, which may have limited its reach.
For the methodology of our study, the study employs a descriptive survey for the research design. The subjects for the study are grade 11 and 12 students of the University of Mindanao under the STEM strand, with a total population of 375 and a recommended sample size of 191. A stratified sampling method is used to get the sample size. A modified research questionnaire with a total of 25 Likert scale questions is used as the instrument of the study.
To gather the data, the researchers went through a series of steps that started with sending a letter to the school principal, asking permission to conduct the study, and administering the data collection. When approved, the researchers would then start asking for the respondents' written and verbal consent to participate in the study. When given, the researchers would then start the collection of data by disseminating the questionnaire to those who approve. Lastly, after the questionnaire has been filled out, the researchers will organize, present, and encode their answers into an Excel spreadsheet for testing in SPSS later on.
Results and discussion. This section contains the key findings and implication of the gathered data organized into statistical table sequence with respect to the research objectives. Table 1. Demographic profile of senior high STEM students with a mean of 191. The first objective of this study is to determine the demographic profile of the senior high school STEM students at the University of Mindanao. Table 1 depicts the distribution of respondents in terms of grade level, age, sex, preferred learning styles, and number of children or siblings in the house. As shown in the data, the majority of the respondents are grade 12 students with a mean of 144, 75.4%, rather than grade 11 students with a mean of 47, 24.6%. In terms of sex, there are more female with a mean of 111, 58.1, than male with a mean of 80, 41.9% respondents. While in terms of age, most respondents are 18 years old with a mean of 97.6%, followed by 17 years old with a mean of 72, 37.7%, then 16 years old with a mean of 22, 11.5%, and lastly, 19 years old with a mean of 6, 3.1%. Also, when it comes to preferred learning style, most responded prefer blended with a mean of 168, 88%, to online with a mean of 23, 12%. In terms of the number of children or siblings in the house, most respondents have 1 to 2 siblings with a mean of 82, 42.9%, 3 to 4 siblings with a mean of 78, 40.8%, and 5 or more siblings with a mean of 31, 16.2%. Perception level of senior high school students. Table 2. Perception of senior high school students on factors influencing academic performance. The second objective of this study is to identify the perception of senior high school students on factors influencing academic performance. Table 2 displays the different factors that affect the academic performance of the students. Each indicator has its own corresponding mean and standard deviation based on the gathered data. The overall mean is 4.0695 with S to D 500, 970, 60. This indicates that the mean is high. This means that the following factors, teachers related aspect, personal condition, study habit, home related aspects, and school related aspects have a higher level of influence on the academic performance of the students based on the perception. The factor with the highest mean is the teacher-related aspect. It has a mean of 4.2710 SD 0.68747, which is high. This indicates that teacher-related aspect have a high influence on the academic performance of the students. Furthermore, the factors with the lowest mean is the home-related aspect, with a mean value of 3.7801 SD 0.74211. The mean also have a high value, indicating that it affects the academic performance of the students highly. This means that students spend most of their time with their teacher when learning, and the information gained by the students depend on the interaction between their teachers. A study states that a teacher's quality can greatly determine a student's learning. The subject mastery of a teacher significantly affects the student's performance. Furthermore, a study conducted that home-related aspect or the home environment have a substantial influence or relationship on the academic performance of students.
Table 3 represents the difference in perception of senior high school STEM students on the factors influencing academic performance when analyzed by their grade level, which showed that the grade 12 had higher overall mean when compared to the grade 11. Since all of the factors and the overall mean had a computed p-value of higher than a significant level of 0.05, this means that there is no significant difference in the perception of the factors that influence senior high school STEM students' academic performance when analyzed by the grade level.
The fourth objective of the study is to find out if there is a significant difference in perception of factors influence senior high school students' performance when analyzed by gender. Table 4 shows the following factors affecting the academic performance of students, divided into two groups, male and female. Furthermore, the corresponding mean value, standard deviation, t-value, and p-value are displayed beside each group. The group with the highest overall mean is the female respondents, with a mean value of 4.16. It has a t-value of negative 2.396 and a corresponding p-value of 0.018. Since the p-value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis, meaning that there is a significant difference in perception of factors that influence senior high school students' performance when analyzed by gender. Furthermore, for each indicator, female respondents has a higher mean of 4.38 on teacher-related aspects and has a p-value less than 0.05, which indicate that there is a significant difference between male and female respondents. In personal condition, female respondents have a higher mean of 4.17 and has a t-value of negative 2.153 and a p-value of 0.033. So, we also reject the null hypothesis. In terms of study habit, overall, the female respondents have a higher mean score of 4.24, and its overall corresponding t-value and p-value are negative 3.337 and a p-value of 0.001, which is less than 0.05, indicating that there is a significant difference. And for home-related aspects, male respondents has a higher overall mean of 3.81, and we fail to reject the null hypothesis because it has a p-value greater than 0.05. And lastly, the school-related aspects. Female respondents have a higher mean of 4.11 and its corresponding t-value and p-value of negative 1.851 and 0.066 imply that there is no significant difference in terms of school-related aspects.
The fifth objective of this study is to describe the senior high school STEM students' different perceptions of factors that influence their academic performance when analyzed by age. Table 5 shows the distribution of respondents in terms of teacher-related aspects, personal condition, study habits, home-related aspects, and school-related aspects. The computed f-value is 0.174 with a corresponding p-value of 0.914. Since p is greater than 0.05, the null hypothesis failed to be rejected. Thus, there is no significant difference in the senior high school STEM students' perception of factors that influence their academic performance when analyzed by age. As indicated in the data, grade 11 and 12 senior high school students scored an f-value of 0.052 and p-value is equal to 0.984 on the fifth variable, which explains that there is no difference in terms of school-related aspects. In terms of personal condition, there is still no significant difference. The f-value is equal to 0.832, p-value is equal to 0.478. Therefore, students in grade 11 and 12 do not vary in their perception of factors that influence their academic performance regardless of their age. Previous studies stated that the demographic profile has an influence on a student's academic performance. L-Refay et al. 2021. Furthermore, another study has the opposite results. Its findings show that academic accomplishment of performance doesn't have any major influence or significant link to the age of a person. It is mostly based on the cognitive activity of the human that leads to good academic performance. Imlach et al. 2017.
Table 6. Differences in perception of senior high school STEM students on factors influencing academic performance when analyzed by preferred learning style. The sixth objective of this study is to ascertain if there is a significant difference in perceptions of factors that influence senior high school students' performance when analyzed by preferred learning style. Table 6 display the following factors affecting the academic performance of the students, divided into two groups, blended and or online learning style. Furthermore, the corresponding mean value, standard deviation, t-value, and p-value are displayed beside each group. The group with the highest overall mean is the online learning style, with a mean value of 4.08 and standard deviation 0.60. It has a t-value of negative 0.075 and a corresponding p-value of 0.941. Since the p-value is greater than 0.05, we failed to reject the null hypothesis, meaning that there is no significant difference between perception of factors that influence senior high school students' performance when analyzed by preferred learning style. Moreover, the study will identify the results for each indicator. In terms of teacher-related aspect, the blended learning style has a higher mean, x is equals to 4.28 and SD is equals to 0.67, and has a p-value of more than 0.05. T is equals to 0.508 and P is equals to 0.612, which indicate that there is no significant difference between blended and online learning style. In personal condition, online learning style has a higher mean. X is equals to 4.11, SD is equals to 0.68, and has a t-value of negative 0.225 and p-value of 0.823. So we failed to reject the null hypothesis. In contrast to study habits, Online learning style have a higher mean score, x is equals to 4.21 and SD is equals to 0.71, and its overall corresponding t-value and p-value, t is equals to negative 0.817, p is equals to 0.415, which is less than 0.05, indicating that there is a significant difference. And for home-related aspects, online learning style has a higher overall mean. X is equals to 3.76, SD is equals to 0.73, and we reject the null hypothesis because it has a p-value less than t is equals to negative 1.142 and p is equals to 0.225. Lastly, for school-related aspects, online learning have a higher mean. X is equals to 4.87 and SD is equals to 0.78, and its corresponding t-value and p-value, t is equals to negative 0.75, p is equals to 0.941, imply that there is no significant difference in terms of school-related aspect.
Table 7 displays a difference in perception of the factors that influence senior high school STEM students' performance when analyzed by their number of siblings. It is revealed in the table that all of the variables and consequently the overall had a calculated p-value of more than that of 0.05 level of significance. Thus, this means that there is a significant difference in perception of the factors that influence senior high school STEM students' performance when analyzed by their number of siblings.
Based on the results shown, the study concluded that among the senior high school students of the University of Mindanao, students from ages 17 and 18, students with only 1 to 2 siblings are more frequent in the population. Most students prefer blended as their learning medium because it involves more interaction between student and teacher. In terms of their perception in factors that affect their academic performance, all of the factors have high level of perception from the students, indicating that each of them has a high influence in their academic performance. The demographic profile of the students doesn't significantly affect their academic performance, nor are there any significant difference between academic performances when analyzed by demographic profile.
Recommendations. Based on the findings and conclusion of this study, the following recommendations were made in order to sustain the factors affecting the students' performance. For universities, in order to raise student understanding, institutions should include issues in their curriculum and academic activities, organize guidance awareness, workshop for students to ensure that they are armed with the knowledge and skills. For teachers, complete concentration and priority so that teachers may create teaching materials to ensure that all children get chances to perform their best learning. Include and enhance teaching education programs in pre-service and in-service primary teacher training programs for teachers. For future researchers, they should utilize the result of this study as a baseline for additional research on variables influencing academic performance. And to improve future research on the factors affecting the academic performance of senior high school STEM students, it is recommended to expand the demographic of the study to cover a larger and more diverse sample of senior high school students across different institutions in the country.